Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each individual life path forecast for the month of April 2023. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading where we'll take a deep dive into your own numerology, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at April real quick. So April 2023 is a 2 universal cycle. And what that means is that universally, collectively, we will all be feeling the influences of this 2 energy. So what this could bring about is the need for balance, things coming to the surface that are out of balance, whether that's body, mind, spirit, or with relationships, things that have just felt out of alignment, coming to the surface for review to bring back into alignment at this time, or at least start that process, right? This energy is also asking us to become the observer, to stand back and really not get too emotionally invested in a situation that we don't need to be emotionally invested in, but rather take a step back, take a look through a broader lens and see, are we thinking too rigidly about something? Are we overly invested in something? Are we overextending ourselves in a situation that we don't need to be? Or again, are we overly involved in a situation that we don't need to be, which is therefore leading to resentment or frustration or stagnate, whatever, right? Whatever being overly involved or being too immersed in the situation, if it's causing imbalance, then again, this is going to be a month where standing back, being the observer, seeing things from a broader lens will benefit us. This energy will also ask us to be more decisive and discerning in who we choose to invest our energy into, what that looks like, what we will compromise with, and again, making decisions. So there may be events this month collectively where things come in and we need to make a quick decision, and it doesn't really necessarily give us time to second guess ourselves or to weigh the pros and cons. We have to trust our own internal guidance system and the information that we have that's presented to us and make a decision. And then once we make that decision, we have to give ourselves grace to understand that in that moment, that was what we needed for ourselves. And so again, deal with the consequences as they come up from that decision. Maybe make different decisions moving forward if you need to, but don't beat yourself up about it, right? Trust yourself and trust that the decision that you make in that moment is what is best for you in that moment, right? And all involved. This can also be about channeling charged emotions. So the 2 energy can sometimes bring intense emotions or deep emotions, so to kind of be moved through. So it can be a charged energy, right? And so you might find that you're easily triggered over something, or that you feel deep emotions about something. This is a month where emotions could be coming in very strongly. And so sit with them, move through them, work with them, honor them, but be mindful of how you express them, right? If you become overly agitated or overly aggressive or something like that over a situation, that's going to influence, if you're not in control of those emotions and that charged energy, that's going to potentially dictate whether you react or you respond to the situation, right? Which then will dictate the experience that follows. So this month is really asking us to get in more awareness when it comes to our emotions, and as well as how we want to work with those emotions and that charged energy, because emotions are life, right? We are feeling beings. We are meant to feel emotions. It's what we do with those emotions that makes the difference, that creates the experience. So this 2 energy coming in collectively is really going to be asking us to take a closer look at that and take responsibility for how we express those emotions, right? Not meant to avoid them, not meant to suppress them, none of that. We are emotive beings. We are meant to feel. So, but again, it's in the expression that makes the difference and that determines the experience. And so this month could bring up some things that might trigger us, that might force us to look at the emotions that sort of are more in control of us. so that we can get a greater handle on that and work with that energy, that charged energy, and channel it into something positive. This can also be a very highly sensitive month where things that might not have affected us in the past are a little bit more quick to bring about some kind of reaction, right? Or response. And so just pay attention to what's yours, what's not yours, because again, it's a highly sensitive period. And so we could be picking up on things emotionally or get a sense for things that affect our mood that may not even be ours to carry. And so just keep in mind that it is a highly sensitive period. So don't get too attached to what you're feeling, especially if it's not yours, right? And again, relationships could come into the focus this month. So mending or healing of relationships that are still meant to be a part of the journey. New connections coming in. So new soulmate connections, friends, family, pets type thing could definitely be coming in this month. And these are often relationships that are serving a greater purpose. So some kind of soul contract coming in potentially to assist us on our journey. So pay attention to the people that you meet, or again, the pets that come into your life at this time. We could uncover a new way of relating to others that serves us better and serves others better, right? So a new way of looking at relationships and how we relate to others could absolutely be coming in collectively this month. So again, pay attention to those people that come into your life or the people that resurface in your life and what they're trying to show you. What is their divinity trying to teach you, right? Through their own wisdom and through what they trigger within you type thing, or what they bring you that's beautiful, right? And so how we can learn to accept that beauty as well. That's a big part of relating as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at each individual life path number now for the month of April. Life path 5. So I pulled an animal wisdom message for you all, and you got chimpanzee. So this is such 5 energy. I love this. So for you all, there's definitely something coming in here around fun, finding your joy, immersing yourself in your joy, enjoying, life with all of your senses. So very 5 energy. Definitely a lot coming in with chimpanzee to go with the flow, to adapt, to not get your feathers ruffled too easily, to let things roll off your back. This can be, like I talked about in the intro, a month where, emotions are running high sensitivity, easy to get triggered type thing, easy to let things affect us. So just in your 5 energy, so you're probably pretty good at this anyway, but just kind of let things roll and see where they land type thing. Put in the effort where you need to put in the effort, show up where you need to show up, all those things, but don't overly try to control the situation and just kind of go with the flow. Definitely a big month for you all for tapping into your joy, doing the things that make you happy, making time to do that. That's going to be really important for you all this month. Also balance, very much coming in for 5. So doing things in moderation, just making sure you don't fall to extremes, which is very easy for 5s to do. So just make sure that you're coming back to center, checking in with yourself, making sure you're not overextending, making sure you're not being too overly restrictive as well. Like maybe you want to splurge on that thing, but you've been like overly restrictive and not giving yourself permission to do it. This is a great month to do it. This is a great month to, again, play, enjoy life, do what makes you happy type thing without going to extremes, right? Again, 5 energy can kind of fall to extremes very quickly. So again, just check in with yourself. Just make sure you're doing things in moderation that feel good, right? That feel aligned for you. Now, for you all, April is an energy of 7. So you're, of course, also working with the overarching energy of the 2, which I talked about the intro. And that's really, I think, where the balance is going to come in for you all as well, and kind of going with the flow. But for you all, there's a strong theme of the 7. And so with this can be an energy that sort of pulls you back in to self. There can be a lot of self-contemplation. There can be a lot of going within. There can be a lot of mental activity. So overthinking, trying to process those thoughts. There can be a lot coming in from the ether, right? This is a very like the veil is thinner type energy. So there can be a lot of things to sort of process coming through. Big ideas, big inspirations, lots of clarity from the unseen. And so this energy asks you to go within to process that, to move through it, to see what does that mean for you, and what does that mean for your journey, and how does that translate into, the path that you're on, and making that work, and all those things. And so with 7 energy, you're really meant to take those ideas, that inspiration, that clarity, and turn it into something within the physical, do something with it, right? You're the bridge between those two worlds, the ethereal, the metaphysical, and the physical, the more practical. So this month could have you, getting more focused on and getting more serious about what it is that you want to create, right? 5 energy is big, fast moving energy. 7 is going to ask you to bring it in, like go within type thing. And see, this can be the time where you ask the big questions about life, about your trajectory. And you're probably going to get big answers if you're open to it. So that's why I think it's really important to tap into chimpanzee energy throughout the month, to not get too serious, right? To not get too in hermit mode where you're overly restrictive. But to make sure that you are making time for fun and to get out there and to still enjoy life, right? Even though you're sort of working with these bigger questions and trying to figure out what it is you want to create or do, or the next steps type thing. But this month can again, if you're open to it, can bring in the answers that you've been looking for. Might not look like you expected it to look. So just be open, right? And be the observer as much as possible to say, does this work for the direction I want to be moving into? And if so, what do I do with it? So beautiful energy there. You could also see some things come up around health, holistic health. So pay attention to that. You might see some kind of solution come in to a health ailment, body, mind, spirit as well. So if you've been feeling disconnected from, say, your spirituality or your higher consciousness or whatever, blah, 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 this energy can help you get reconnected. You just have to be open to it, and it'll bring in new ideas, new ways of doing things type thing, which is great for 5 energy because that energy is always kind of evolving and always wanting to seek out the next thing type thing. So the 7 energy can be a very powerful month for you all, but it is more internal, right? It's more the inner workings of self. But this can also bring up this desire to get to the truth of something. So if there's some kind of situation or some kind of relationship where you feel like you haven't been given the whole story, or there's more to the story, or there's some illusions that are going on, this energy can bring a lot to light, right? But it's going to take your sort of digging deeper. You're sort of going, a little bit more deeper into it, like a deep dive into your own psyche, into the psyche of others, into the experience. So just be kind of open for that. Trust may come up for you all as well. Trusting self with your decisions, trusting others in believing that whatever it is that they're moving through is what they need to be moving through, and that they're capable of moving through it type thing. And then trusting the universe, right? Instead of being like, why did this happen? Why is the universe not giving me this? Why is this not working out? Just trusting that the universe has your back, and whatever needs to show up for you will show up for you when it needs to. You just need to be open to it, and then you will figure out how to move through it in a way that serves you, right? And that serves others. So this has the potential to be a very defining month for you all. Again, where you're getting like internal clarity, right? Like a greater sense of your own purpose, your own contribution in your own journey. So very deep, deep energy. So I hope it's a great month for you all. Just don't forget to find your joy, right? Don't forget to do the things that make you happy this month, because it can feel a little bit more of a serious month for you all. A lot of deeper things to move through. And so just make sure that you're keeping it light where you can keep it light. So I hope it's a great month for you 5s. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.